Go ahead and subscribe, please. This case takes place in the USA in early September of 2025. Investigators made a grim discovery in the Hollywood Hills. A body was found in the front trunk of a Tesla that had been impounded at an LA tow yard. The car was registered to a 20-year-old indie pop singer named David Anthony Burke, otherwise known as his stage name David, spelled D4VD. Over the next few days, news outlets confirmed the victim's identity as Celeste Hernandez, an Inland Empire teen who had been missing since early 2024. So, what exactly happened? David is a 20-year-old American singer-songwriter who broke into public attention via social media. In July of 2022, he released the single Romantic Homicide, which went extremely viral and earned him millions of followers. However, he would soon gain attention for something far more sinister. On the 8th of September 2025, the LAPD responded to a tow yard in the Hollywood Hills after employees reported a strong, foul-smelling odor coming from an impounded vehicle. The vehicle was a black Tesla with Texas license plates. Officers opened the front trunk and were met with a grisly sight. Inside was a severely decomposed body wrapped in a bag. The Tesla had been parked on a Hollywood Hills street for weeks before it was towed. Law enforcement quickly identified the owner of the Tesla as David. The car had never been reported stolen. It was just simply abandoned. The LA County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed on the 16th of September that the victim was 15-year-old Celeste Hernandez. And it turned out that she had actually been reported missing from California in 2024 when she was just 13. Because her body was in an advanced state of decay, the coroner could not immediately determine the cause of death. Investigators did note, however, that Celeste's remains appeared to have been inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before discovery. The LAPD Robbery Homicide Division took over the case. Law enforcement sources told the LA Times that as part of the probe, detectives executed a search warrant at the Hollywood Hills property where David had been staying. During the search, the police seized a number of electronics and computers from his home. Officials stressed that the investigation was ongoing. No arrests have been made, and the police explicitly stated that they identified no suspects. Celeste was a teen from Lake Elsinore, a small city in Southern California's Inland Empire. According to police, she had been reported missing from her hometown in the spring of 2024, with some sources stating that she actually vanished around Valentine's Day 2024. So despite being 15 when she was found, at the time she went missing, she would have been only 13. Authorities have said that she had run away multiple times in the past, but she had always been returned home each time. After her body was identified, further personal details emerged. Investigators noted that Celeste had a shush tattoo on the side of her right index finger, something to keep in mind for later on into the video. Celeste's family later said that she had been in a relationship with a person named David, and her brother later confirmed to news outlets that Celeste knew David. The LAPD Robbery Homicide Unit took over the case once Celeste's body was identified. Investigators treated it as a death investigation, with some sources describing it as a homicide probe. But crucially, in all official accounts, David is not named as a suspect. His publicist also emphasizes that he is currently cooperating with the police. However, once the story broke, it had immediate consequences for David's career and the public's perception of him. Multiple sources have confirmed that David canceled the remainder of his tour dates in the U.S. Several brands and collaborators also distanced themselves amid the news. Some of his friends have also come out and distanced themselves from him. From the day after Celeste's body was identified, social media and internet forums exploded with theories, and it soon transpired that David actually did know Celeste. First of all, there are numerous posts in Discord. In one message exchange, David asks if Celeste is here, and she replies saying, "Hi, David, bark." Another time, there's a message exchange where people in the Discord are asking if David has a girlfriend. A number of people confirm that David is dating, with one user saying, "Yeah, he has a girlfriend, her name is Celeste." In one social media post, a commenter asked David if they will consider adopting them. Of course, this is said in jest, but David replies to the comment by tagging someone whose username is 0907, and David says, "Should we?" That date 0907 is the birthday of Celeste, the 7th of September. And then there's one particular tweet from the 10th of May 2022 that has gained attention. The tweet reads, "When I was writing this, I got a notification from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and sister again. Take me where I belong, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We've got to push through it." Some online commentators have speculated that this implied Celeste had been pregnant or that David was hinting at knowledge of that. And then, after the case broke, a set of photographs and a video circulated online showing David with a woman. There's one video which shows a girl in pink pants, and this girl looks very similar to Celeste. Another eerie thing that people noticed is that both Celeste and David had distinctive shush tattoos on the inside of their right index fingers. As I mentioned earlier, this shush tattoo was used to help identify her body. But then, photographs of David from 2025 also show a very similar tattoo. This begs the question, why did they have matching tattoos? With all the evidence, it's safe to say that the link between them is pretty much undeniable. The reaction to this news has been somewhat mixed. Many people have outright accused David of being the one who killed her, while others have pushed back and are being a little more hesitant, saying that there is no concrete proof tying him to her death as of yet. However, many are taking to social media pushing for answers. Many social media users have accused David of grooming based on the apparent age difference and their relationship. It's been pointed out by some that David couldn't be responsible for Celeste's death because his tour schedule placed him outside LA at the time her body was discovered and was scheduled in Minneapolis on the 9th of September, with other Midwest stops in between. This publicly documented timeline shows that he was performing hundreds of miles away whilst the Tesla containing Celeste's body was being impounded in LA. However, some people have pointed out that David could have enlisted or paid someone else to move the car, hide the body, or otherwise cover up his involvement. This idea has made the rounds on social media. However, the police have not confirmed that this is a working theory, and no evidence has been presented to suggest that anyone else was involved. But for those who believe that David is guilty of murder, they have theorized that David got her pregnant by accident and had her killed or killed her himself. This is all just wild speculation at this point, and nothing should be stated as fact until the case is resolved. But this isn't where the case ends, and it gets even more disturbing. Fans dug a little deeper, and they found this Discord exchange. David says something along the lines that he doesn't want to make a song with Billie Eilish, but then a fan says, "Drop the one with a missing girl, Celeste Hernandez." And it turns out that David did allegedly write a song about her. A leaked demo track allegedly by David, which is titled Celeste, began circulating online. Now Celeste was 13 when he wrote and recorded this. Fans have said that they expected the song to be AI, yet many have said that this is indeed David singing. Now, here's the thing. When this song was released, Celeste was 7 years away from being of legal age. So, the lyric "Save Your Tears 7 years" could be an incredibly eerie hidden message. But the subtle musical messages don't end here. David's 2022 romantic homicide was released on YouTube on the 7th of September, which is Celeste's birthday. And finally, we have the song "Here With Me." The lyrics go, "I don't care how long it takes as long as I'm with you." Fans now interpret this song as having a very different meaning. The theory is that this hints to him waiting for her to be of age before they can make the relationship public. Why was he so brazen, and why did no one do anything? Where were the family? These are all questions now being asked. What's strange is all of this seemed to be somewhat of an open secret online. This eerie Reddit post soon came to light. In the post, one user is talking about David, and they say,
"This guy is a weirdo. A close friend's little sister from the IE ran away last year, and this is who she was with. We think her sister was pimping her out. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD swept his place in the hills. I'm terrified that was in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore."
Another user replies by saying,
"I strongly doubt this is true. He has a very public social media presence, and there's no one underage in his road crew. I have only ever heard good things about David from tour venue staff. Don't post stuff like this with all the speculation going around. You're going to feed into witch hunts."
The previous user replies by saying,
"This isn't speculation. It really happened. I don't really care if you've heard nice things about him. That has no impact on my personal negative experience."
As of late 2025, the case remains active with more questions than answers. Investigators continue to analyze evidence from the Tesla and from the search of David's home. The LAPD is also currently checking Celeste's last known whereabouts, examining surveillance video of her neighborhood and where David lived at the time. In public, David and his team have made minimal statements beyond his cooperation. No comment has been made by N, but he has turned his comments off on his social media. Law enforcement are urging anyone to come forward with any information that could help solve this case. As of right now, they haven't ruled anything out, including the possibility of unknown accomplices, alternate suspects, or unrelated bad actors. Until the investigation concludes or charges are filed, the truth of what happened to Celeste can only be pieced together by official evidence. All online speculation should be taken with a generous pinch of salt. But with that being said, why was he hanging around with someone like Celeste at all? This needs to be investigated as soon as possible. In the wake of Celeste's death, many fans have gone back and re-examined David's public persona, in particular, his fixation on death and murder. He often performed dressed in dark, morbid outfits, costumes resembling funeral attire or blood-splattered clothing during stage shows. At the time, many dismissed this as theatrical expression, but now the imagery has taken a far more sinister tone. On Reddit and Twitter, some argue that this aesthetic wasn't just artistic sentiment, but instead a very real, disturbing obsession with killing, and they could be right. In one leaked Discord, David says that he prefers watching gore over adult consensual content, and that he used to be addicted to watching gore when he was younger, followed by a message which simply reads, "I love gore." What's weird is how much David documented all of this, bringing her on stream, taking photographs, tattoos, writing and singing songs about her. It's like he was doing it in front of everyone's face. So, as it stands, here's the timeline. March 2022. He drops the song Decide and says, "Say your tears 7 years," which is 7 years from when Celeste would be of legal age. May 2022. A tweet from David about a girl wanting to be taken where I belong. The girl is 11, which fits with Celeste's age. July 2022. Romantic homicide is recorded and the music video released on Celeste's 12th birthday. October 2022. Private Discord where David asks if Celeste is inside the Discord, and then she appears in chat. December 2023. Celeste's song is recorded and photographs surface of them together. March 2024. Private Discord talks about him dating a girl called Celeste. April 2024. The last time Celeste is seen by her family. August 2024. Discord messages of someone asking for a song about the missing girl where they name her as being Celeste. September 2024. Celeste turns 14, and the first photograph showing the shush tattoos. September 2025. Celeste turns 15 and then she is found dead in David's Tesla.